according to Zahran, the real victim of 9/11 was his auntie who got some allegedly bad looks, and completely marginalizing the experience of Muslim Americans in a post 9/11 America.
I mean, this is all the Republican Party has to offer. Cheap jokes about Islamophobia so as to not have to recognize what people are living through. Attempts to pit people's humanity against each other. And I think whether it's J.D. Vance or it's Andrew Cuomo, it is the same kind of politics. It's a politics of division.
If I become a problem for Democrats to being up 11 points, you know, like in a state as purple, as difficult as Pennsylvania is, it's like that's very strange. But I'm going to be honest, and I would say this to Democrats: I'll be an honest Democrat that's going to tell you what I think is fundamentally right in this circumstances. And now I think many Democrats would agree. In certain circumstances, we're going to vote for our country, not just the party lines on this. And I'm not going to hate everything that President Trump does. I mean, there's things I'm going to agree with.
Do you see the difference? Do you see the difference between Captain Doofus and Uncle Fester? And I use the name Uncle Fester affectionately with John Fetterman because I really like this dude. I cannot stand Zohran Mamdani. Matter of fact, I think it should be illegal for Zorro to be mayor of New York City. If you were not born in America, you should not be allowed to hold an elected office. Well, that is outrageous. That is intolerant. That's Islamophobia. You can call it whatever the hell you want to call it. You can accuse me of whatever mythical phobia that seasons your wiener. I'm tired of Omar Elon. I'm tired of Rashid Tlaib trying to turn America into a Somalian dump. But anyway, do you see the difference here? If I'm a Democrat, this decision is simple. You have guys like John Fetterman, Josh Shapiro. You got dudes with courage. You have leaders who are willing to be honest. Well, at least as honest as we can expect a politician to be. You have Democrats who are willing to work with the Trumper. They are willing to put politics to the side to do what is best for the country. Then you have AOC LGBT, Zorro Mamdani. You have radicalized lunatics who have never built a damn thing. Outside of movies from the 1960s and 70s, Zorro has never had a job. If you want to actually win elections long term, the choice for Democrats should be simple. Yet for some reason, they continue to allow the radicals to destroy the party. Why? Because they are terrified. Have you noticed that the vast majority of mainstream Democrats, they have not endorsed Zorro? Which is great. That's great. But that's not enough. They should be publicly supporting Cuomo and condemning Zorro Mamdani, but they refuse to do it because they are terrified of being labeled Islamophobic. Ironically enough, they are Islamophobic because they're afraid to criticize Islamists. For years now, Democrats have consistently made the wrong decision. They demonized John Fetterman while praising AOC LGBT. They wasted 4 years trying to convince us that John Biden could run a 4.240. Of course, what they really meant was John Biden could eclipse 40 yards in 4 hours and 20 minutes. Democrats are so hell-bent on destroying the country, they refuse to acknowledge and learn from their mistakes. However, there seems to be one mistake that they are unwilling to make again. There seems to be one parishioner that deacons at Woke United Methodist are removing from the congregation. Sister Kamala Harris, better known as Cackling Cam. She's insinuating that she is running for president again in 2028, and Democrats are sending a clear message to Cackling Cam: no mas. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. So I get to the sponsor for today's video, my good friends at Sugar Mountain Trading. As you guys know, got young nephews. My oldest is 8, youngest nephew is 6. Like most young kids, they deal with various skin ailments, psoriasis, eczema, itchy, dry skin. Hell, I'm not a doctor. I'm not qualified to diagnose what the hell it is. I just know it's a nuisance they no longer have to deal with because my sister started using oat and honey soap from Sugar Mountain Trading. This soap is ideal for sensitive skin, offering a gentle yet effective solution for various dermatological issues. Its American-made origins guarantees the highest standards of production. Also comes available in CBD. So if you're dealing with skin issues and pain, the CBD version will take care of both. You'll be pain-free and smelling like fresh raspberries, or black raspberries in this case. I guarantee you won't be smelling like Don's lemons. Hell, that's literally the reason my wife likes to use it. She uses the standard CBD oil for her pain, and she prefers the soap because she thinks it smells good. Like I said, the oat and honey soap, it is available with or without CBD. So become pain-free while smelling fresh today by clicking the link in the description below. Use my promo code BTL20, BTL20. Save 20% off your first purchase with Sugar Mountain Trading. Recently, cackling Cam Harris has been booked on shows that no one is watching to promote her book, 107 Days of Huge Embarrassing Failure. Obviously, Cam Harris has never met Bomani Jones. Although 107 Days of Huge Embarrassing Failure is rather impressive, Bo Jones has experienced over 40 years of humiliating failure. This week, Cam was interviewed by state-run media in England. I believe the network is called BBC or CCP. Whatever it is, it's nothing but propaganda. It's essentially the British version of MSNBC here in America. The propagandist interviewing Cam Harris asked her if she was willing to set herself up for further humiliation by running for president in 2028. As expected, Cam answered with one of her patented word salads. Oh, I don't know yet, but I'm not done. I've spent my entire life in the field of service, bus service, internet service, cell phone service. I have experience in service. Service is a great thing. It comes from the root word serve. When I play ping pong, I'm an excellent server, so it's only natural that Cam keeps serving. Basically, Cam admitted that she was running for president without admitting that she was running for president. Surprisingly, this was a devastating admission for her former supporters at MSNBC. Watch for yourself.
Have you made a decision yet?
No, I have not.
But you say in your book, I'm not done.
That is correct. I am not done. I have lived my entire career a life of service.
Should she explore a run, Michael?
No. I'm going to get myself in trouble here and say something here. I think Democrats have to think about the candidates they run and say, let's figure out a way to find the best person to defeat Republicans in this election. Instead of trying to get in the box-checking conversation, I don't think that's productive. And frankly, I think she's incredibly talented in many ways, and she could be incredibly helpful going forward. But I think Democrats should take a step back and say, looking at 2028, who can help us win this election? Let's focus on that instead of saying, well, we have to have this or we have to have that. I don't think that's a good strategy.
What? Excuse me? Did I just hear a logical response from one of the woke welfare collectors at MSNBC? Well, I guess they're now calling it MS Now, which stands for MS Now Off My TV. But either way, did I just hear a logical response? Whoever that dude was, he just admitted that Democrats should not be looking for diversity in their next candidate. He just said, we shouldn't be checking woke boxes. We shouldn't be trying to climax the woke wiener. We need a candidate that people will actually vote for. And that is not Cam Harris and her misuse of the English language. Honestly, I cannot believe that Kamala Harris is willing to put herself through this again. Remember the Democratic primary back in 2020? Cam Harris received a grand total of 0 votes. Alf received more votes than Cam, and Alf hasn't been on TV in 40 years. Cam Harris is living in a world of delusion if she thinks she has a chance to receive a single vote, much less actually becoming the president. You know, when I was younger, I was Cam's next door neighbor in the world of delusion. During my prepubescent years and throughout my teenage years, I thought the Saints were going to make the playoffs every season. They could be 1-6, kind of like they are right now, and I never lost hope. I thought they had a chance. I thought Aaron Brooks was one of the greatest quarterbacks in the league. I thought Mike Ditka would revitalize the franchise with his 1980s mentality in a league that had rapidly passed him by. Not only did I think Ricky Williams would be the best running back in the league, prepubescent KC thought he would be MVP and one of the best players the NFL's ever seen. You see how delusional I was? My dad, he would try to talk some sense into me. Of course, I refused to listen. I thought I knew more at 12 than he did at 40. Now that I'm 40, I realize Dad knows everything and I don't know shit. But there is a huge difference between prepubescent KC and Cam Harris. When I became an adult, when I eventually grew up, I left the neighborhood of delusion and moved into reality. The Saints have a better chance of winning the Super Bowl this season than Cam Harris does of becoming president. And believe me, the Saints have no chance at winning the Super Bowl. Hell, I don't know if this roster is talented enough to win the Senior Bowl. The problem for Kamala Harris, besides the fact that no one is willing to vote for her, the problem for Cam this time, she does not have the support of her own party. She doesn't have the support of the media. Like the rest of us, they are trying to get as far away from Cam as possible. Democrats know that she's got no chance of beating J.D. Vance. And to be honest with you, the only Democrat that's got a chance against J.D. Vance is Josh Shapiro, and Democrats refuse to support him because it would piss off the radical Islamists in their base. Well, Casey, what about Gavin Newsom? Gabby? The dude responsible for the destruction of the People's Republic of California? The dude that was standing on the sands of Malibu during the LA wildfires claiming that he couldn't find water? The doofus that made life so miserable in the People's Republic that people were leaving their mansions to live in straw huts in Mexico? You think that guy has a chance of winning a national election? Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys later.